Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we have a new thread made by, I don't want to say a new developer, maybe he posted before, but I haven't seen him before, I haven't covered what he has posted before, but yeah, so he's talking about security and loyalty improvements. It looks like a good thread. We have a couple of graphs here as well, and also he answers some questions down over here. You guys told me to go over it on my YouTube, my Discord, and yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm kind of interested to see what he has to say. This is pretty much loyalty and security. If you didn't know, that kind of has to do with how you manage your town. It's one of those things that it has a lot of factors to it, and we're gonna get right into it. But I'm gonna link this down below, like always, if you want to check it out for yourself. And let's do it. So what I was saying is pretty much security. It's pretty much a calculation that the AI takes whenever they decide to siege a town or a castle. If the town or castle has very high security, there's a big chance they might choose a different place, right? And then loyalty, pretty much a good loyalty will give you positive prosperity, positive prosperity increase. So both are very important, obviously. So let's see what he has to say. I'm gonna give my input after, see if it's good or not, and we're gonna go from there, like always. Alrighty, greetings warriors of Calradia. We have been working on balancing security and loyalty parameters of settlements for the past 3 to 4 weeks. Loyalty value is one of the most important values for the well-being and health of a settlement. Okay, I would say it's not the biggest right now, but I think once the rebellions come out, I think loyalty is going to play a way bigger role, right? Because how loyal your settlement is pretty much, I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to directly correlate. This is my opinion. I think it's going to directly correlate with how rebellions are going to work. If it's very low loyalty, big chance of rebellion and stuff of that nature. But let's continue reading. There are lots of other parameters such as security that affects loyalty in a good or bad way. Okay, so security does directly impact loyalty. That makes sense too. Okay. While balancing the values, our aim was making them a bit realistic and can be affected by other actions. New terms security drift and loyalty drift have been implemented, so loyalty and security became more dynamic. They fit into significant variables between 0 and 100 according to the environmental effects. Okay, so you said they're going to be more dynamic, they're going to move around a lot more. Obviously, the term drift is kind of like, it can go down a little bit or it could go up a little bit. And I kind of understand why these changes were made, because if you have noticed, loyalty and security, like if a town or castle hasn't been attacked for, let's say, like even like half of an in-game year, both go up to 100 and just stay there. So it does make sense. But and they don't really drop after that either. They kind of just get to 100 and then they just never really drop. But okay, let's keep reading. I will also share some data for you to compare the values before and after the update. You'll be able to experience the balance of these values and the results when they are not in average with the next update. So I'm guessing 1.5.6, right? Stay safe. Alright, now we got some graphs. Loyalty values of settlements before. Before the update, most of the settlements were reaching maximum loyalty in 1 or 2 weeks. Exactly, they just went up all the way to 100 and then just, boom, stopped. After some time, there could be sudden ups and downs for some settlements. I think that's when they're taken. They have those up and downs, but usually it just stays up, right? So this is the before graph. As you can see, most of them are up here. You see like small little drops. Some have drastic drops, but for the most part, they stay up here. See, they just go up and then just some drop, but overall, mostly in the positive, okay? And then we have loyalty values of settlements after. After this update, this value has become more wavy, as can be seen in the graph. As a result of good or bad management, settlement loyalty can go to a maximum or minimum value in long term. Jesus Christ. Oh my god, what a graph. Oh man. Well, obviously, there's so many lines, it can't really cover a specific thing. And this is pretty much all the what looks like all the towns in the game, right? He could have easily just put, a couple different towns, but I understand he wanted to go all the way and just kind of see what it is. And it looks like the main focus, obviously you have some outliers that go all the way down here and some that go all the way up here, but But after this update, the focus looks like it's going to be in between, I would say, about 50-ish to a little bit over 80, maybe 85, right? That's where the main focus of loyalty will be. So that's not bad, you know, and it could drop drastically, as you can see here, or it could go up, but it doesn't look like a lot of places are staying up. You know, like it's hard to stay at 100, which makes sense, you know. I think that's a good change. I don't think it should just stay at 100, you know, just based off everything. And like, and another reason why this is good is because maybe this will incentivize people to kind of check on their town more and stuff of that nature. Because usually when I get a town, or once I have a couple towns, I don't even look in the manage town or manage castle window anymore. Like, I know it's going to be good over time, so I just leave it be and I go on to the next. But I think making people actually check how this is doing and kind of giving people ways to actually improve it is going to be a good step forward. But I feel like while all these changes are good, we do need stuff that we can do. Like, I don't know if it would be considered quests, or maybe kind of like objectives, or like stuff that or kind of metrics that we have to hit in order to kind of either increase or decrease this number. Because right now it just seems like, you know, there's not really any solid way to completely increase loyalty. Like, you can obviously check under the manage town window. You can check you can like what's it called, mouse over the loyalty thing, and it can show you all the stuff that's affecting it. And obviously you can pass some policies. I'm pretty sure there's some perks and stuff like that. But it would be cool to see if like you can like actually do something like physically, like either a quest, or, you know, bring something over, or do like in terms of loyalty, do like a show of faith or something that increases the loyalty in the town by you having to actually do something, not just pass, like, let's say a policy or do this, right? A thing that I'm kind of like thinking about right now is like in what would you call it? In ancient Rome, what they used to do is, what's it called? Let's say like a new king gets, what's it called? Instated, right? What he would do to kind of improve his relationships with the people, he would have like a week long like tournament / feast where everyone would get free food, everyone would celebrate, everyone would party and stuff like that, like the whole town. And this would kind of increase his kind of like, you know, his likeliness and also probably his loyalty in that settlement, right? So I think being able to do something like that to increase these metrics, I think would be very cool. But this is definitely a step in the right direction, right? Having people actually care about this metric instead of just, you know, leaving it as soon as you get a town. It's a good idea. Now let's move on to security values. So security values of settlements before, similar as loyalty graph. Most settlements were reaching maximum security in 1 or 2 weeks. Yeah, this one's even worse. You can only see only 3 went down here, but most are just boom, boom, boom. Yeah. And this is after, is more dynamic than loyalty. It is values that can be put in a city in different situations by affecting loyalty in some cases. Jesus Christ. Oh man. It still looks like the majority is, I would say, above 80. I still think the majority is above 80. Because you can barely see any of the white graph behind it over here. You can see some of it over here. I think this needs to be tweaked a little bit more, in my opinion. I think it should be very, very hard to reach the 100 mark, in my opinion. If the 100 mark is the best you can get, it should be insanely hard to reach and keep that, if that kind of makes sense, right? But again, step in the right direction. Compared to this is way better. Alrighty, like I said, I think this is a good step, but now we need to they need to make either like some type of quest or some type of like option that you can do, like, hey, do you want to start a tournament of your own, or do you want to feed the people, and like if you choose that option, then, you know, you have to give some of your food away and some of your gold away and stuff of that nature, right? I think you should be able to do that to kind of increase these values. I think that would be a cool thing to do. And let's see what people have to say, right? So interesting. I'm guessing these changes will be very important for the upcoming rebellions features too. Exactly. I feel like if your security is low and also if your loyalty is low, I think a rebellion is much more of a possibility. So this definitely Of course, this definitely coincides with the upcoming rebellion feature. If taxes and militia spawns were tied to loyalty, maybe war would be expensive and the snowballing would be less. Snowballing's getting fixed regardless, but I can see their point as well. Battle loot must be nerfed for this to be effective though, and since you balance loyalty, it will be even better. Good work. What do you guys think in terms of battle loot? I think it has. I think battle loot has been kind of nerfed. Not, I would say not directly, but indirectly, because we got the what would you call it? The herd penalty for having too many, let's say, mules or horses in your inventory makes you go a lot slower. And obviously, if you want to get a lot of battle loot, it does weigh a lot. So in terms of like battle loot, it does weigh you down if you want to hold a lot of it or go on a huge like raiding spree. You'll be very very slow. And also in terms of battle loot, I think we're at a good spot where they give enough after a battle. I just think we need to work on village raids and how much those give, because those are just underwhelming. I don't think after like the first couple times, I don't think I ever went on like a village raid. The only time I do a village raid is to start a war, just so I could go siege the castle or town right next to that village. In terms of raiding a village, I think it's very ineffective. I think it gives you barely any reward, and the amount of time you spend, it's like you'd rather just siege down, a town or a castle instead of trying to, pillage a village for like, what, 26 pieces of wood. But, that's just my opinion. Alright, let's see. Awesome pose, thanks a bunch. And also great graphs, very clear. Security and loyalty will be more dynamic. Yep. What would also be a great visual is if you could limit a graph down to one city and put its both security and loyalty lines so we can see how they correlate with each other. Yeah, or he could have picked like one town from each kingdom. I'm curious about if there are now ways for the player to influence these values more than the current ways of town project, building upgrades, governors, and keep villages unrated. Yes, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, yes, there needs to be new things to do. Like, I understand the concept of town projects, where it's like, oh, do you want to increase this daily and this day? It just seems very passive and very non-interactive, in my opinion. I want to do something physically. I want to hold like a town-wide feast for everybody, or I want to hold like a tournament that's like in my name. That where I want to give away some of like a huge portion of my food, so the rest of the what would you call it, the town is happy. I want something like that makes me feel like I interacted with it, not just like all this background stuff, in my opinion. Regardless of these answers, thank you for taking the time to post this. Yes. Did you keep the mechanic of nearby bandit parties affecting security? It was around before, but in a bug state. Oh, okay, so I'm guessing that makes sense. That should impact security, definitely, if you have bandit camps nearby. I didn't know it was bugged, though. But it probably was, since security was always at 100. Great post, great post. Boom, boom, boom. Looks like modern art. Yeah, you're right. We got some answers now. All right. Yeah, interesting. So this is a person or a player asking the dev. Interesting. I'm guessing these changes will be very important for the upcoming rebellion feature too. And the developer replied, exactly. Then we have the other one where he was talking about taxes and militia. And the devs respond, yes, these balance changes also help snowballing in a good way. Snowballing was not easy to balance. We always kept that in mind while doing these changes. Good to hear. Then we have the bandit question about bandit parties affecting security. The dev responded, yes, it's still affecting security and affecting loyalty indirectly. I also noticed and fixed the mini bug there. Cool. And then we have the last question. Thanks, great post. Any chance we can get some insight into what loyalty will be used for aside from upcoming rebellion mechanics? And then we have low loyalty already affects tax income, relations, and powers of notables and town production speed. There it is. I think that's about it. Let me know what you guys think. I think this is a good step. I just think that now we need to work on making it more like interactive with the player, and then I think we're going to be in a very, very good spot. Let me know what you guys think. Ask me any questions, any concerns, and like always, stay safe.